Hi, my name is Demarais. I'm a psychologist based in New York, and I have a company called First Impressions Inc. And in that I do business coaching, give people feedback about how they come across on simulated job interviews and simulated social interactions like first dates. Based on this, I also have a book called First Impressions: What You Don't Know About How Others See You, published by Random House. It's in 24 languages. And so what I'm going to talk a little bit about is the science of a smile. And I'm going to argue that smiles run really deep. There's a lot going on there. Every time you have an interaction with someone, remember how people make us feel more than what they said or do. And the elements of the emotional connection often come from eye contact and smiling. If someone smiles when you speak to them, they're going to send a positive vibe back to you. It's going to make you remember them more clearly. It's going to make you like them more. So there's a lot of data on this. Number one, I'm going to sort of start with, how a smile begins. And smiles are instant. They really just emerge. It's part of the, social communication. We start out even at just the age of 2 months, spontaneously smiling. And then as we turn into kids, we smile very unselfconsciously. We smile readily. It's a very playful, fun, natural kind of way. But then as we get older, so when we're in like our adolescence, people tend to kind of like hold back. Maybe the braces come on, maybe they don't feel comfortable. And as they move into adulthood, some people still kind of override their smile instinct and don't smile quite as readily. And when I talk to them, I talk to my executive coaches that don't smile, they say, well, I don't really always feel good about my teeth. So it's kind of like this coma where they're just trying to cover up. And I want to argue to them, there's so many benefits they're missing out that if they just smiled more, they would have such a bigger impact. And it's a really strong phenomenon. I tell them when they meet someone for the first time that they should be as authentic as they can, with one exception, which is to smile broadly, because that will really change the whole tone of their relationship with them. And there's many benefits. So the first one I'll talk about is it's a mood enhancer. So if you just physically put your face in the shape of a smile, it activates the parts of your brain that are activated during spontaneous pleasure. So it literally boosts your mood. And psychologists have put electrodes on and measured that. Also, it's been shown to decrease the stress response. If you smile as you stick your hand into cold ice water, your heart rate goes up, but then it goes back to normal much faster when you're smiling than if you're in a different expression. So it affects you emotionally. It makes you more likable. It makes you appear more attractive. It makes people feel that you have a whole host of other positive qualities. So they do these studies where they put people's photographs smiling and not smiling, jumble them up, and then ask people to rate them on a variety of qualities. The ones that the version of you that's smiling is perceived as more attractive than the version of you in a neutral face. So you literally appear more attractive. And then there's something called the halo effect. So if you see one positive quality in someone, you may assume they have a cluster of other positive qualities that you may not have observed and may not be true. So psychologists did another experiment showing that if they look at people's faces in different expressions and rate them on different personality traits, the smiling version was rated as more intelligent, more confident, more sociable. So we project onto smiling faces all these qualities. So, this is a great thing to remember in terms of going for a job interview, or you want to be, seen in a positive light, you're going on a first date. Smiling is going to give you all that rich set of perceptions. And you become more likable. So if I'm speaking to someone and there's someone in the audience that's smiling and someone in the audience that's having a neutral expression, I will like the smiling observer more. Even if they say nothing, I'm just going to project. They're going to make me feel better, more affirmed. So there's a lot of ways in which we're seen better when we're smiling. But also, smiling is magnetic. It draws people to you. So in an elevator, for example, they had someone stand in a grid and smile at them or not smile at them, and then measured how closely the people stood. If you smile, people would approach physically closer to you in the elevator. It's a sign of saying, I'm safe, I'm not a threat. So people are literally drawn. And they even show that people will get up across a room to you if you're smiling. They did a study in a French bar and had a woman smile at or not smile at men that were sitting alone. And then she'd sit down and wait 10 minutes and see if they'd be coaxed over. Smiling coaxed over about 25% of the men compared to like 1% with no smile. This is an average-looking woman just sitting in a regular bar. That's a pretty big hit rate to have people come over to you like that. And smiling has shown to keep love alive. So if they showed that people's yearbook photographs, they measured on smiliness, and the ones with the broadest smiles were associated with having the least divorce rate. Sounds pretty, unbelievable, but it's true. They replicated with other photos of childhood, etc. And again, the most smiling ones were associated with people who had the longest marriages. And the researchers speculate that it has that mirror neuron thing. When people smile, it creates a positive environment. It, fosters that intimacy and connection. So it has these great benefits to you personally, to people around you, but even affects strangers, people who don't even know you. It pays it forward. So the same bar researcher did a study where he had people smile or be neutral towards someone passing by. Someone behind them would drop something. The people that were smiled upon were significantly more likely to get down and help the person. It just elicited pro-social behavior, made people more generous. And it's surprising that just a very small act of smiling can affect the world around you in positive ways.